Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. This question was requested by several people after I did my battles episode, and it's a pretty interesting one. Amy plays a battle while she controls Solemnity and Mycosynth Lattice. What happens? So the first important thing to note here is that Solemnity and Mycosynth Lattice work together exactly how you'd expect in this situation. Solemnity says that you can't put counters on artifacts. This rule here indicates that this phrasing specifically includes putting counters on something as it's entering the battlefield. And this rule here says that while the battle is entering the battlefield, the game will check to see what it would look like when it's on the battlefield while deciding whether Solemnity's can't effect applies. The net result is that with these two cards out, nothing will get counters on it as it enters the battlefield. This of course includes battles, which makes for an interesting question. See, Planeswalkers have this rule here that says that if they have 0 loyalty counters, they're put into the graveyard as a state-based action. A lot of people don't know this because it doesn't really come up very often, but battles also have their own version of this rule. The part where the state-based action doesn't apply if the battle is the source of an ability that's triggered means that usually the battle has 0 defense, it won't be subject to this state-based action, since it will have gotten to 0 defense via the last counter having been removed from it. In the case described in the original problem statement, though, that's not what happened. There never were any defense counters on this battle, nor were any defense counters removed. Accordingly, there's no triggered ability that says when the last counter gets removed from this, and therefore there's no triggered ability that stops this state-based action from occurring. Like a Planeswalker, any battle that's played while these two cards are out will enter the battlefield with 0 counters on it and be put into its owner's graveyard the next time state-based actions are performed. I suppose for interest, I should also briefly mention how Solemnity interacts with sagas. Like what we talked about in the previous example, a saga won't get the counter that it normally would as it enters the battlefield. Sagas fare a little bit better though. Unlike battles and planeswalkers, there's no rule that says a saga with too few counters will go to the graveyard. Rather, the rule that kicks in happens when the saga has too many lore counters on it. The saga will not get any lore counters as long as Solemnity remains in play, but at least it will get to stick around, waiting for Solemnity to leave, at which point the saga will resume working just like it normally does. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.